All right, you guys, what's going on? It's your boy Town Biz. Well, it's a new one. Well, actually, a new old one because it looks like this may have something to do with the same person. I haven't really went through all the details, so I'm just bits and piecing this this video together. But apparently, it looked like this situation with Ti, Tiny, and Now King allegedly being tied to sex trafficking is or has popped up again. Now, keep in mind, it looked like it might have something to do with the same person that accused them of sex trafficking and having them participating. Now, keep in mind, Ti and Tiny have been accused of participating in orgies, not freak offs. So basically, the person in question basically tried to sue them for defamation of character, and it was thrown out. And then Ti and Tiny avoided criminal charges because they said they had reached the statute of limitations. So, this is just beginning to just become a free for all. And I'm telling you right now, it sucks to be famous. I don't know whether this woman is telling the truth. I don't know whether Ti and Tiny is being lied on. I'm just gonna say this is just an epidemic now, where anybody could just go to court, hire a lawyer, and file a lawsuit against you. And some of these social media dudes call themselves being you call the word I'm looking for. What's the word that I'm looking for? I don't like the fact that people are, you know, just going after these celebrities without facts. But I don't know. I'm just keeping it a buck. I wasn't there. I didn't witness anything, but I've heard about this kind of stuff. This stuff, like I said, all this stuff about freak offs, orgies, whatever you want to call them, this is nothing new. This has been going on forever. They have these type of parties. You didn't heard several celebrities talk about these type of parties. Now all of a sudden they have became illegal. And what I don't like is that they are trying to make black men the catalyst for this type of stuff. They're trying to tie this to black men, but they try to tie everything to black men. Anything that goes on or goes wrong with the world, they want to attach it to black men. Just like you got some of these goofy ass black women sitting up here saying if you support Diddy and you don't support Cassie, you hate black women and you hate your mother, and Cassie ain't even really black. Like, sometimes people get on here and just say stuff and they just don't think. I think people need to think long and hard before they want to be, the social media avenger, and I don't do that kind of stuff. I just get on here and give my opinion, present the research I've done, the facts, or whatever the case may be, and you sort it among yourselves. I'm not finna be the freak off avenger and all that kind of stuff, because some of these dudes, they've been caping way too hard. And you could tell this runs deeper than just being on social media and all this kind of stuff. Listen, Cassie getting beat down by Diddy versus the evidence that was presented in the court trial is two different things. If you don't like Diddy due to the fact that he beat the brakes off the Cassie, okay, fine, I understand that. But I'm gonna tell you something. There's always something beneath the surface. And I'm gonna further dive deep into that. And some people ain't gonna like what I have to say concerning that, but at the end of the day, ask me, do I give a fuck? Because it seemed to be a lot of standards on this social media thing and on the internet. I'm seeing some of the vitriol and the hate speech that's intentionally targeted towards black men. But yet you have these same people that went after Kevin Samuels, they went after Andrew Tate, they tried to get their channels taken off, they tried to get them removed from social media, period. But then you got blatant hate speech and terrorist threats, and particularly towards black men, particularly that's being spewed by black women, but there isn't a fucking thing being done about it. Okay, fine. Freedom of speech. Okay, fine. Well, that's the thing. Um, Andrew Tate never said nearly some of the stuff that was said towards black men. You had black women talked about if they got pregnant with a black male baby, they should abort them and all this kind of stuff. You had black women putting up emojis of black men hanging from trees and all this kind of shit. I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? So I don't know what's going on with this T.I. and Tiny thing, but um, that's real. Some of these dudes need to think long and hard before they want to be Captain Saberho, a simp specialist, and a sap. Because some of these people on here, they ain't worth the effort, male or female. Sometimes you can't save dudes or women that don't want to be saved. And that's factual. Get mad, get sad, and you know what I'm saying? That's just the bottom line. I mean, we living in a time where we going reverse, where people feed off of negativity, feed off terrible things happening to people, celebrating bad things happening to people, whether it's good or bad. And I'm sorry, you got people on here that celebrate a dude that taunted somebody that lost his son and stuff, and people thought that was cool. And you had these goofballs trying to justify it. You had people celebrating Kevin Samuels dying. And then you got some people celebrating what happened to, 4 Extra, and I just believe that sometimes you got to show some dignity to a certain degree. I just don't go that route for the most part, but everybody get off character. Everybody have a character flaw moment where they say something that may be considered not right. It happens to everybody. We're human beings. But yeah, this thing is just getting absurd with all these celebrities, getting accused of sex trafficking. But that's what I'm saying now. This day and age, you can't really have fun or do adult things without somebody having an angle. And a lot of times these people just have an angle, and people pick and choose who they want to be mad at. Now it's funny, you got everybody mad at Shannon Sharp, calling him a pervert, possibly for basically dealing with somebody that was 19 years old. But yet you got people talking about that some people need to stay out of Drea Michelle's business if she want to have a baby by a nigga that's young enough to be her son. Nah, fuck that. But that's what I'm saying. The double standards is real. And I'm not finna be caping for people like Cassie, because at the end of the day, Cassie was a nymphomaniac whore. People need to differentiate. Once again, Diddy wasn't on trial for domestic violence. He was on trial for being an alleged sex trafficker and running a criminal organization, which they wasn't able to prove. Which I hear now they're thinking about bringing more charges on Diddy, which to me now this is starting to come across as just a witch hunt. And now it's starting to come across as just harassment, just trying to find something. Because this was a botch case. It was a botch case. It was a weak case from the beginning. And anybody that testified, they got destroyed. They got proven to have a vendetta versus wanting Diddy in jail because he was a menace to society. And that's all it come down to. I'm not finna sit up here and pander to you women. And I'm not finna sit up here and pat you simps on the back or you Captain Saberholes. I'm going by exactly what I saw and heard as far as that court case go. Cassie got destroyed. She got exposed. And to me, Cassie is accomplished. And her ass should be on trial right along with Diddy. Okay? I'm just keeping it a buck. I mean, somebody got to say it. Like while you got some of these dudes on here being a catalyst and being a cuckold, nah, that's not gonna happen with me. So this thing with T.I. and Tiny, I'm just gonna play this by ear because It's just unfortunate to hear about these type of things happening. Like I said, more money, more problems. The richer you are, the more money you make, you have to worry about somebody trying to find a way to take some of it or a big portion of it. When you sitting on millions of dollars or even billions of dollars, people gonna try to find a way to get some of it because they don't have it. They're gonna look for the slightest thing. So that's all I have to say about that. We'll see what happens. But this is just something that's just starting to resurface because the person's name that has popped up, she's already accused them of this, and she did lose a defamation lawsuit when they were saying she was lying. And nevertheless, um, I don't think I don't think Ti and Tiny are looking at any criminal charges, probably just more lawsuits to follow. But once again, this person's already lost the lawsuit. Well, a lot of people don't like me, man, because I tell the truth. Because I don't sugarcoat stuff. I say what people are afraid to say. I'm telling you right now, I've been following this Diddy. I followed the Megan Thee Stallion case. Megan Thee Stallion is a fucking liar. Um, Cassie is a whore and a nymphomaniac. And then this person with Ti and Tiny may just be on a revenge kick, you know. So some people hate to hear the harsh truth. Like I said, a lot of these dudes, they get on here, they want to pander to a certain group, or try to go against other content creators that stand on the opposite side and try to create a fake beef so they could try to gain subscribers from a certain audience. You know, a lot of times in these cases, women don't want to take accountability whatsoever. It's everybody else's fault what happened to them except them. Once again, they suffer from eternal reflections. They don't want to see themselves as the problem. So there you have it. But anyway, this your boy Town. I'm out.